The vibes when you tune into Wells Radio. Your preferred wholesome radio. 89.3, they carry me go. I just follow, they carry me go. You know the vibes when you tune into Wells Radio. Your preferred wholesome radio. 89.3, they carry me go. I just follow, they carry me go. Fill your ears with awesome news. Make it do my recover you. Dance to the rhythms and all of the blues. Things that you see on 89.3, yeah. I'm a living proof with testimony. So many blessings coming easily. Things that you get on 89.3. Tune into 89.3. Yeah, the vibes when you tune into Wells Radio. Your preferred wholesome radio. 89.3, they carry me go. I just follow, they carry me go. You know the vibes when you tune into Wells Radio. Your preferred wholesome radio. 89.3, they carry me go. I just follow, they carry me go. On the microphone,
It's Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Magic.
time check says it's 38 minutes past 6 a.m. It's the third day in February of 2026. Good morning to you, dear listener. Thank you for staying with us and for tuning to Wells Radio 89.3 FM. I must apologize for coming a bit late. The show starts at 6:30 a.m. from Mondays through Fridays here at Wells Radio 89.3 FM, and the show is Perspectives Unlimited. Thank you so much for staying with us, and thank you for your patience. On Perspectives Unlimited, we take a look at headlines and stories making the rounds across the different dailies in the country. We talk about the stories. We go beyond the news and help you make sense of the stories. My name is Bolanle Oduekun-Ayoola. This is Wells Radio 89.3 FM. We're broadcasting live from the Wells Broadcasting House along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. You can find us on all social media platforms at Wells Radio 893. Kindly find us right now on Facebook, where we're live at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, or you can listen directly via our website from anywhere at all in the world, www.wellsradio893.com. We are Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio and your number one family radio in the whole of Oyo State. This morning, as I said, we'll be taking a look at front pages and delving into the stories and analyzing them with the help of our analysts. So we'll first start by taking a look at the headlines on the front pages of some major dailies, and I believe we'll start with the front page of the Punch newspaper, where the lead headline says, "Big money, small impact. Governors face fire over 9 trillion naira FARC windfall." The writer says federal allocations leap 37% post-subsidy. Spotlight on state spending. NLC, economists, opposition parties react. That's on page 2 of the Punch newspaper this morning. More headlines: refiners battle crude shortage as Nigeria exports 306 million barrels. That's on page 41. More headlines: court remands 9 over killing of 150 in Benue. That's on page 7. No other country sees daily killings like Nigeria, says Kuka. That story is on page 24. Ministry blames budget delay as South Africa cuts embassy power supply. That's on page 46. More headlines: father seeks justice over son's mysterious death inside Lagos hotel. You find that on page 5 of the Punch newspaper. Electoral Act. Senate resumes debate today after backlash. You'll find that on page 48. Federal government moves to share electricity subsidy costs with states. That's on page 9. PDP crisis. Wike bloc plans convention after court victory. You find that on page 48. APC unveils 73-member National Convention Committee. That story is also on page 48 of the Punch newspaper this morning. On the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, the lead headline says, "How I acquired my properties," says Malami, asks court to set aside interim forfeiture order. That's on page 8 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Fintechs processed 11 billion transactions in 2024 as startups raised $520 million in equity. That's from the CBN. More headlines: Yawata massacre. Federal government arraigns suspected terrorists on 57-count charge. You find that on page 8. More headlines: 19.65 billion naira was budgeted for health sector in 2026, not 68 million naira, says Ekiti government. More headlines: common food preservatives in hot dogs, sausages, bacon increase prostate cancer risk by 32%, and that's from researchers. On the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning, the lead headline says, state governments now to share payment of electricity subsidy. That's from the government. The writer says we're reviewing situation. That's from the NGF and the SERC. Funding to come from PCAF, says source. State should pay subsidy as active partners, says CPPE. Big fiscal political shift. That's from Professor Ilerade. And finally, experts cast doubt over federal government's power to make states pay electricity subsidies. More headlines: Makoko protests. Police use expired tear gas on protesters. That's from Femi Falana. More headlines on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Onitsha market lockdown. 10,000 shops marked for demolition. The rider says we've opened markets, but nobody's coming to buy from us. That's from traders and market leaders. Also hail the traders. More headlines. Prosecutor to London court. Dezani spent 140,000 euros on furniture and others. More headlines. 2027, APC moves to exploit opposition's disunity. That's on page 4. And we see this in entertainment. Outrage as Nigerian music superstars face disappointment again at 68th Grammy Awards. These and many more we'll talk about on Perspectives Unlimited this morning. Welcome once again, and thank you for joining us. My name is Bolanle Oduekun-Ayoola. All right, we'll get started. Of course, I'll bring up my analyst, Mr. Chukwemeka Munachi. So good morning to you.
Good morning, Bola.
How do you do?
I'm okay.
Happy New Month.
Happy New Month, yes. The first time we are working together for the new month.
Yes. There's this, I always honestly like to start with health because they say that health is wealth. And there's this headline I saw on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper that says common food preservatives in hot dogs, sausages, bacon increase prostate cancer risk by 32%. That's from researchers. Now, of course, many a time we've heard from health experts that as a people, we need to reduce our intake of processed foods. We've heard that natural food is the best. But we seem to be in a situation where natural fruits, these days, which is what's happening in America, are getting more expensive than these processed foods. I'll give you an example.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Natural food, normally, they are more expensive. And that's why they are natural food. When people eat all these processed foods, they don't really understand what they are taking in. And we must eat live foods, live. When I mean live foods, food that are produced in conjunction with water, air, soil, and sun. These are live food. You understand? You find them almost everywhere, and they are not chemically processed in any way. When you eat them, you eat healthy, and even eating healthy is even less expensive. There are a lot of local foods around us that are less expensive, but eating junk food is expensive, and you are digging your grave with your own mouth.
Cheap on the pocket, expensive on the health.
You understand? Because if you eat healthy, we have local foods around. We have we have vegetables. We have so many things you can grow by yourself. That's why I always tell people, if you can't go to the farm, do urban farming. In that your little corner of a house, you can do it in a pot. You can do it in a sack.
Now, a lot of times we've heard from people who live in fast-moving communities. I mean, like Lagos State and Co., where you go to work at 4 a.m., you come back from work at 11 p.m. Many have embraced eating processed foods because it seems to be the easy way out.
But if you love your life, why must you sacrifice your well-being at the altar of because you wake up by 4 and come back? No, you must look. It is what you are looking for in life that you will get. Nothing you are looking for will come to you. Will never come to you if you are not looking for it. Take time out to go and get something. Like you see vendors on the road, they hawk some of these things. You must create time to go to market and get this thing by yourself. You see, Bola, if somebody really wants to live healthy, you must eat healthy. You must make conscious effort, intentional efforts, because you are alive. Man, if you are not alive, you can't even be working. The problem is that a lot of people spend a lot of time pursuing wealth, and when they get that wealth, they spend that wealth in pursuit of their health. That's the problem. You understand? But the most important thing, there are so many common things you can do to stay alive. You drink a lot of water. Eat vegetables. When you go to Buka or wherever you go to, you don't need too much meat. You don't need it. You don't need, especially as an adult, you take and the exercise. How many people exercise? Even in your compound where you live, walk around. Some people eat late, and it's poisonous to eat late. I'm not a medical doctor, but I know that some of these things are not good at all. You drink a lot of water. These carbonated drinks we take in every time, it is not good. And most of them, you can't take it abroad because our own has a lot of sugar. You understand? Expose yourself to, if most of the time, trek instead of driving. These are things you do to keep healthy. And you cannot buy it in the market or supermarket. You can't.
Thank you so much. You cannot buy your health in the supermarket, and so it's better to guard it, especially seeing the condition of the healthcare system in Nigeria. You want to be very, very careful. Thank you so much for that. Now let's move on to stories making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria this morning, and we'll start with this headline on the Punch newspaper that says, "Big money, small impact. Governors face fire over 9 trillion naira FAC windfall." Now, the story says, despite receiving an estimated 9 trillion naira in Federation Account Allocation Committee inflows in 2025, state governors are facing mounting criticism from labor unions, civil society groups, and opposition parties over what many describe as a widening gap between soaring revenues and limited improvement in citizens' welfare. Now, the FAC allocations to states surged by over 2 trillion naira in 1 year, according to an analysis of the Federation Account Disbursement data published by the National Bureau of Statistics, highlighting the scale of the revenue windfall that flowed to subnational governments in 2025 amid higher federation inflows. And they say that the sharp rise has triggered criticism from organized labor and opposition political parties, with the Nigeria Labour Congress warning that these higher allocations have failed to deliver meaningful improvements in citizens' welfare due to weak governance, misplaced priorities, and corruption at the state level. Also, civil society organizations have also faulted state governments, accusing them of mismanaging the inflows and failing to translate increased revenues into visible development outcome, while calling for stronger accountability and oversight. Now, they say that economists have said that the surge has truly expanded the fiscal space of the states, but are cautioning that heavy dependence on federally shared revenue and poor revenue management continue to undermine sustainable development at the subnational level. Now, a couple of months back, I believe it was someone in the presidency, I don't know if it was the president himself, had come out to say that, question your governors. They're getting a lot more. We spoke about this on this show. They're getting a lot more money than they used to get. So question them and ask them what these monies are being used for. We also had someone from the presidency speak earlier last year during the fight for the local government autonomy, to say that why we want local government autonomy is that when the local governments are able to access their monies directly, they're able to meet the immediate needs of the community, of the area, of the local government area, which is a smaller catchment area as compared to the state and the federal. And we've been having conversations on how governance needs to be local, and moved away from the center. Now, they say that our governors have been getting more money.
It's not
how evidence how evident is this in the workings of different states, as you can see?
You see, Bola, what you are looking at is leadership blindness. You understand, and collapse of conscience. What I mean by that is that those we put in the position of leadership, their conscience has collapsed, and we are being led blindly. You see, it's not every time you look at the center, at the president. He said it sometime last year, like you said this morning. Look, Bola, there is no way Nigerians, all this noise about SERAP, civil society organizations, all of them jumping out into, at the end of the day, are we going to get any result? Nothing. The system is structured in such a way that it suffers functional paralysis, because people will never, there's nothing like accountability in this part of the world. The governors themselves, it's not they say, the governors themselves came out to say that, look, we are receiving times 3 what we have been getting. Governor Sanwo-Olu of Lagos said it. This man in Delta State, Governor Sheriff, I don't know how to pronounce that, he said it. Many of them have come out to tell Nigerians that, look, and if you look at what they have said, you can understand that truly they've been receiving a lot. But has it translated to the welfare of the people? No. If they are not receiving a lot, how do you justify a situation where a governor will use 68 million to go and renovate a cemetery? It means that man has a lot in his coffers and he didn't know what to do with it. Meanwhile, this is a state where children are dying of malnutrition, where we have a lot of millions of children out of school, where everything is at in the state has collapsed, and yet the man has the gut to use 68 million to go and renovate cemetery. Bola, you see, it is not about holding governors accountable. The citizens are already weakened. The citizens are abrogated, in my own word.
Are you saying that of all the apparatus, the state apparatus that have been put into place in case of that we have in case of things like this, that citizens can still not hold the state governors accountable?
Nigerian system is not structured for citizens to participate in governance. It is not. They are just there as cannon foders. They are just there. Honestly speaking, the only time you will hear about civic responsibility is when election is coming now. Go out and vote. Is it our civic responsibility to keep suffering under people that are clueless, that don't know what it takes to be in a position of changing the narratives of the people?
Now, some people may listen to this and, say that, oh, well, you can't say the governors have not done anything.
I'm not saying they have not done. What they have done, is it in proportion with what they are collecting? That's what we are saying here.
So some may say that you can't say they haven't done anything because, of course, we have the minimum wage, which most governors started paying in 2025. We also have several projects. So can we say that it cuts across this non-performance that you mentioned?
They are all clueless, Bola. How I wish you lived during the First Republic. You will understand what I mean. Honestly speaking, this set of people, and that's why they are jumping from one party to the other. They don't even look at a whole professor. A professor of economics. You close the market for 1 week, and you are crying that you are losing millions, as in billions, and you close the market for 1 week. Where is the economic sense in that closure? Where is the economic sense in using money for a living to go and renovate the cemetery of the dead? Bola, there are so many examples I will give you here. It's just because with our selection processes, people that we bring into governance are not even they're not even people that we look at and say, do they inspire confidence in the citizens? They don't, because they are not. Look at, I've asked this question severally. The way they run Nigeria, is that the way they run their own private companies? No, they can't run their own private companies that way. But because they know that this is the bazaar, you do whatever you want to do and get away. Nobody is holding you accountable for anything. A system where leaders are not held accountable cannot make progress.
Now that we have, picked on the problem, which, as you have said, is the fact that the citizens are weakened and therefore, in a way, have no power.
They have no power. They don't have.
What then is the solution? How then do we move ahead to ensure that we get to a state where we can hold our governors accountable?
This system needs to be rejigged. The system is not working. The democracy we know is about the people. Power belongs to the people. But in Nigeria, does it belong to the people? It does not belong to the people. It belongs to the leaders. Nigerians, it doesn't work here. The only way is to change the whole system. If we are going to throw away this presidential, we throw it away. It's not working. It's so expensive. People are not participating. Why are they not participating? Because they have been weakened by poverty, lack. When you don't build hospitals, when you don't build schools, when you don't take, what is the duty of the government? Is it not to protect lives and property? When citizens are protecting themselves, I pay all of their money. What do they call it?
Local vigilante.
Local vigilante. Am I not supposed to be protected? I pay for. You pay for darkness. You don't get light. Then what is the sense of having a government? You understand? And citizens, look, silence is complicity. That's why I said. But I don't sympathize with Nigerians because they are complicit in their own suffering. You know why? They have used religion and ethnicity to weaken the people. If you go out now and be saying, some people will come and defend them and say, because he is not from your tribe, he's not from your religion. You don't do that. Poverty has no religion. Poverty has no tribe. Anywhere there's poverty, go and check. There's no religion, there's no tribe in poverty. People that are our leaders, the only way we can change the narrative, Bola, is that you see this thing they call immunity. Remove it. When you go, when you run roughshod of the law, you pay for it. When you are a governor and you know that people will ask questions, you be mindful of how you spend their money. How many of them give us account of how they spend their money? The companies they run, their own private companies, when they drop money for their CEOs or general manager, don't they come and ask, come and give me account of how you spend it? Don't they ask?
This is a good place to leave this discussion.
Why?
Because we'll take a short break soon. We'll take a break soon. And also because, that part that you mentioned makes so much sense. Accountability and transparency is lacking. And that is what we need. It's not enough to, present the budget, get the budget approved and assented to, and get the monies out. You also then need to come back and tell us what you have done
with the money.
And media personnel can fact check
that
you've done
all their media chat. What are they talking about? You gather people and be talking rubbish. Media chat, tell us what you have done with the money of the people.
All right.
That's what media chat should all be.
You're still listening to Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Still to come, the federal government has said that state governments will now bear the cost of electricity subsidy alongside the federal government. Also, Bishop Kuka has said that no other country sees daily killings like Nigeria. And we also have the story of the Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs commenting on the disconnection of electricity to the Nigerian High Commission in Pretoria, South Africa. We'll talk about this when we come back from the break. Don't go anywhere. It's still Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM.
Christ Ambassadors International College is a private, co-educational Christian day and boarding school located at Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. We offer a blend of Nigerian and British curricula designed to nurture global leaders with godly values. With world-class facilities, exciting co-curricular programs, exceptional pastoral care, and outstanding academic results, we ensure your child's dream becomes a reality. Our entrance examination for 2026-2027 academic session will hold on Saturday, 14th February 2026 at 8 a.m. For inquiries, please call 0704-530-8414 or 0814-177-2806 or visit www.christambassadorscollege.com. Christ Ambassadors International College, nurturing global and godly scholars.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour.
I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data.
Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service.
One Data?
Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on these websites: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817 665 7060, 0707 338 4828, SEC 0209 462 1168. Announcer, FSRCC.
Are you hungry for something delicious? Food that feels like home but tastes like pure luxury? Then welcome to Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile. From our smoky jollof to rich ofada sauce to a variety of delicious soups like egusi, eforiro, and more, paired with your favorite proteins and hot, freshly made swallows, all made for you to enjoy. We also handle bulk orders in liters, fresh and ready whenever you need it, with delivery to your doorstep. At Honeydew, it's not just the food, it's the feel. With our beautiful ambience, perfect for your romantic dates, family outings, or your quiet, relaxing evening escape. Join us every last Friday of the month at 7 p.m. for karaoke night with Jayola and enjoy music, games, food, drinks, and free mocktails and cocktails as you sing your hearts out. Visit us at Plot 42, Block 8, Alaafin Avenue, beside Wells Radio, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. For your doorstep delivery or inquiries, call or WhatsApp 0814-691-6635, 0814-691-6635. Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile.
Boost your business with Wells Radio 89.3 FM. In a competitive world of business, strategic brand and product positioning is key to growth. Don't remain unseen in the shadows. Shine a spotlight on your brand with Wells Radio 89.3 FM today. Why Wells Radio? We are your state's #1 family radio station. We connect with the heart of families in your state. As the smallest unit of the society, families trust Wells Radio for quality content and information. Visit us today along Alaafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Our white and blue building just before Sharp Corner ensures your business won't go unnoticed. Advertise with us today. Call our marketing office on 0903 936 8185. Call Toby on 0803 509 3394. Ayo on 0706 840-7359. Take the leap today. Let Wells Radio 89.3 FM be the megaphone for your business success. You won't regret it.
All right, thank you so much for staying tuned to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio, your number one family radio in the whole of Oyo State. It's still Perspectives Unlimited this morning, and we're still taking a look at headlines and stories making the rounds across the different dailies in the country. All right, let's move on. My name is Bolanle Oduekun-Ayoola. Of course, we have our analyst, Mr. Chukwemeka Munachiso, helping us make sense of all these stories. Let's move on quickly. This headline says the state governments now to share payment of electricity subsidy, says federal government. Now, state governments are now to bear the cost of electricity subsidy along with the federal government. This according to the president. Vanguard gathered that funding for payment of the subsidy will now come from Power Assistance Consumers Fund, PCAF. PCAF is a government-backed financial pool designed to subsidize electricity bills for low-income and vulnerable households to ensure affordability in the face of rising tariffs, thus improving energy access while stabilizing the electricity sector by funding targeted support instead of universal subsidies. They say that more than 18 states are currently operating their regulatory agencies, while others are waiting in the wings to do so. The states that are currently operating their regulatory agencies include Lagos, Ondo, Osun, Ekiti, Edo, Delta, Bayelsa, Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Abia, Anambra, Imo, Kogi, Niger, Nasarawa, Plateau, Gombe, and Jigawa. Now, some will see this as a welcome move, especially because just before we took the break, we talked about the fact that states are now getting more money, and we're not saying, what they're using this monies for. So it's more of a case of, if you're not going to set your own agenda, we'll set an agenda for you, to do this. And this also ties into the discussion of decentralizing government, as we have said over and over again. We know that when we talk about power, what we hear constantly is that there's not enough money to fund the power sector. And so in a way, this, may be good news. But the question is, or the point of conversation I want to push is this. Do you think that electricity in Nigeria should be, electricity oversight should be given to states rather than the federal government? You see,
Bola, that's a very good conversation. But let me tell you something. The federal government has removed electricity from the exclusive list. Now, the states have the right to establish their own area in electricity. Now,
to license and manage their generation, transmission, and distribution.
The question remains, why is it that states are shying away? Somebody came up to say that, look, electricity market needs a lot of money for you to establish it, which is understandable. But why can't they go regional? And the person suggested that, look, all the states in the southwest, all the states in the southeast can pull their resources together and start one. Like I saw in the 60s and 70s, we had East Central State generating power something. I've forgotten the real name, but you discover that why can't these governors come together, regionalize it, make it that all the states in the southwest, let's pull 50 billion, let's contribute and start if they truly care about their people. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because since electricity, to invest in the electricity market is quite expensive, which some states cannot shoulder it financially, then let them come together, pull their resources together, because there are so many things going for Nigeria. But because leadership here is not about having something to contribute, it's about just pressing the right button. Pronto, you are in the right position, you are there, whether you know what you are doing or not. But if we have people who are transformational leaders, I keep saying, not transactional. Transactional is about money, collecting money, using it as you like. Transformational is that you care about transforming the lives of the people, not leaving them the way you met them. If we have such leaders, look, Bola, states can do it together if they combine their resources and they push forward for it. Federal government has removed the sand from it. This thing you just made now, electricity, something, picker, subsidizing. This is a way of making sure that the money they are collecting, they are using it for the welfare of the people in their state. But can it work? Nigeria does not lack good ideas. What we lack is implementation. If people come outside and see what we have on the ground on paper, and they will say this country is blessed, but look at the implementation. How many of them will implement that thing you just mentioned right now? And look, Bola, you cannot even implement it when there's no power. You will have to generate power first, distribute. This thing must be enough. That's why the issue of exporting power, a lot of people are kicking against it because of the domestic shortage of power. We have you have not been able to satisfy the citizens of your country, and you are talking of exporting power. Why not make it available domestically? Then you can now export so that people at home, because it will erode trust, which our government, our leaders are lacking. Nigerians don't trust their leaders, and not because of this. If you do something that the people want, why should they not trust you? So this power generation we are talking of, states can pull their resources together and do it if truly they care about their people. And it will bring, it will open a lot of doors for economic activities, because a lot of people are now are doing what they are not supposed to do because there's no power.
All right. Now, last year, the president had, signed a bill into law allowing states to be in charge of their own electricity. Ensuring that states can take charge of the electricity, distribution and co, and all of that, to ensure that they are basically in charge. But we have not seen many states take that opportunity because, as you said, they said it's expensive, and this is a good call, to the states to come together and make a regional. The phone lines are open. You can be a part of the conversation this morning. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Your name and where you're calling from?
This is Adirunke from.
Good morning, Adirunke. It's been a while. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right, let's have your contribution.
Yeah, concerning states to generate their own electricity is a good one, as all the states that they should start generating. I think for your state, still their own is still ongoing, which is a good one, but they should make it fast, because what you are facing concerning this power of 18 is so concerning. Just take a look at in my area now. We have, like, since last 2 weeks we did not have lights. Even before the second national grid collapsed there. So just take it, and renewable power is the backbone of any economy. So if states are generating their own power, we won't be having issue with power. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Adirunke. I like how she put it, that adequate power is, the backbone of any economy, which is true. A lot of, expensive power affects production. And of course, expensive production means expensive goods and services.
And citizens cannot afford it.
Very true. All right, let's move on quickly. The phone lines are open: 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4-893, and 0911-3333-893. I'll read the numbers out again: 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4-893, and 0911-3333-893. These are the numbers to call to be a part of the conversation on Perspectives Unlimited this morning. We value your observations, we value what you have to say, and so we'd like you to reach out to us. You can also drop your comments on our Facebook fan page at Wales Radio 893 FM fan page, and we'll definitely read them out. All right, more headlines this morning. No other country sees daily killings like Nigeria, says Kuka. Now, the Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Sokoto, Most Reverend Matthew Kuka, has expressed concern over the daily killings in Nigeria, describing the situation as unparalleled globally. Speaking in Yola, Adamawa State, at the launch of a book on Governor Amadu Fintiri titled The Man They Could Not Stop, authored by his former Director General of Media and Communications, Solomon Kumanga, Kuka said the country is divided along religious lines, a situation he said is exacerbated by Western media narratives. He said, and I quote, "What is happening in Nigeria cannot happen in Sudan, Cameroon, Niger, Ghana, or any other country in the world," Kuka said. "There is no other country in the world that 10 people are killed on Monday, 50 on Tuesday, 100 on Wednesday, and the killings go on every week. How can such a country move forward. He says only in Nigeria do people die as Christians and Muslims. Western media is fueling the killings along religious lines, 20 Christians killed, 30 Muslims killed. And he went on to call on political and religious leaders to build institutions that unite Nigerians for peace and the country's development. We've heard again and again from our religious leaders, and particularly from Reverend Matthew Kuka, on his feelings about the killings going on in Nigeria. Do you agree with his saying that Western media narratives are fueling killings in Nigeria?
Let me tell you something about him. The moment a man who claims to be a man of God begins to run around with politicians, look at that man. He will begin to speak from both sides of the mouth.
Let's take this call, please. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, West Radio.
Good morning to you, sir.
The issue of light. Do you think that this narration, this directive that the president has given now concerning this issue of light, that the state governments are going to adhere to it? We have had so many things which is pushed up this way, and the state government will kick against it. They will not. Why is it that anything that concerns the masses is always going this way? Do they need the president to give them directive for them to know that the people are suffering in darkness? What exactly is happening? Is this a democracy that they are practicing?
Mr. George, are you saying that you don't believe that the state governments will take up this responsibility?
They don't need to be directed to take it up. I grew up to meet where on every street in our town there were public taps running, courtesy of the government of the time. Today, individuals are putting up boreholes. As you are building your house, you have to put up boreholes. I grew up to meet ECM in Uganda, supplying light to nearly all the whole state. What are we talking about? Light. Do you know what light does to the economy of a country? Then they are waiting for a president to give directives. The minimum wage, have all of them been paying all the minimum wage? Didn't we discuss about people, teachers receiving 20,000 naira? What are we talking about?
Thank you so much, Mr. George, for your contribution this morning. We indeed value your contribution. 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, and 0911-333-3893.
With respect to Reverend Father Matthew Hassan Kuka, who said the Western narrative is not the Western narrative. That's the reality on the ground. Go and check what happened in Taraba over the week. Churches were burned down. Is it the Western narrative? Is it the West that cook up the story?
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, the beautiful reading.
Good morning to you, Mr. Mario.
Thank you. This is Benjamin calling from Apata.
You're welcome, sir.
I think President Kuka is someone we know in this country that always speaks to power. But in recent time now, he has been whining and dining who are winning in this country. The presidency report that he was trying to make the role. And Mr. Kuka was someone that always is blunt, is always the state. When recent time he has been quiet, he has not been vocal like before. Because there is a saying that when you give something, when you put something in the mouth, the eye will be feeling shy. So it is not his duty to tell us what is happening in the country again, because to the best of my knowledge, Reverend Kuka has not. The integrity part of it is no longer there. So let him just keep it shut up there, hold it there, and let we that we know that we are not dining and whining with them.
But Mr. Mario, I don't agree with your choice of words this morning, because he is entitled to his opinions as well, and so we cannot tell him to shut up.
Okay, I'm sorry for those words I used.
Thank you, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, but the point is that Nigerians knows what to do. We know where the issue is thinking us. And on the weekend saying that it's going to come to your state and ensure that PDP is being normalized, and is going to monitor the affairs of PDP in your state. I want to retrieve this fact, and the fact is this: Oyo State. Hello.
We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay. Oyo State is not River State. Oyo State is a state that has law and principle. Oyo State is not a state. It's not a state it's not a state that is being run and governed like what it is doing in River State. So I think in Oyo State we know where it is taken out as well. So I think we can, and I'm going to blame Damagu and the ESCO, the then ESCO, because they also have shown Wike out of the party. If they have done that earlier before now, I'm telling you, PDP will not be in the crisis that they see that they find themselves here. So let him take care of your state politics. Let him face his river. Let him face the FCC job is being given to him. So in your state, we are open and praying that PDP will put his house in order and they will bounce back sooner or later. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mari, for your contributions. We value them. All right. So I mean that's about Reverend Kuka.
Yeah, he's not seeing the things the way they are. America it's not Western media that is spinning the narrative. That is exactly what is going on in the country. I don't know where he stands. I don't know what he's talking about. You understand? So it depends on how he sees it, but that is not the reality on the ground. The reality on the ground is that things are happening which ought not to happen. And if things are not happening, how can the Western media can they cook up stories? They go and check how many churches were burnt in Taraba? Go and check how many people were kidnapped in Kajuru. Is it the Western media that is creating the story? We are the one who gave them. We are people involved in the story and they are reporting it. If they exaggerate it, it's because we did something. So, but there are killings in Nigeria which ought not to be happening, and yet we have government in place.
Now, in South Africa, yesterday we learned that they had disconnected electricity to the Nigerian High Commission in Pretoria. And the Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs has said that, the reason we've not paid, or the reason for this disconnection, is the delay in the passage of Nigeria's 2026 national budget. They said, I'll give a quote from the MFA spokesperson, Keme Bebenfa, who said, if they say Nigeria has not paid in January, that means that there is no money for Nigeria to pay in January because the budget has not been passed. He said the Nigerian mission in Pretoria has not paid because money has not been sent to them since the budget is not yet in place. And they said they're engaging with, the mission in South Africa as well as South African authorities to resolve the matter promptly.
You see, we are seeing the fallout of lack of diplomatic presence in some countries.
Please. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, madam.
Good morning to you, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Oduekun-Ayoola. I'm calling from Bolanle.
You're welcome, Mr. Jan. Please go ahead.
I would like to say a thing or two about the power subsidy issue. The truth of the matter is that the federal government receives 52% of the country's allocation, financial allocation. That's number one. Number two, out of every penny you pay in the name of utility bill, electricity utility bill, the federal government receives 40% of it. Is the federal government prepared to share the 40% with the state? You are the one collecting the money, you are the one collecting the taxes. When it's time to pay back, you are now asking other people to come and join you to pay back. It doesn't work that way. If you want to do that, then you must amend the law to show that, okay, other states and other partner states here are going to receive part of the 40%. then at that particular point, you may now bring them, oh, that part of the property that you're collecting, so you must pay something back in return. Not that the federal government collects all the money and asks other people to pay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your very important observation. Saying that it's not just enough to tell the states to pitch in when it comes to putting money, but when it comes to also collecting the money, yes, are they also going to get from it? Thank you so much for that. Quickly, today the Senate will resume debate or deliberation on the controversial Electoral Act Amendment Bill. We have this call. Let's see if we can squeeze one more call in before we wrap it up.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Mr. Sheriff, good morning. Apologies, I did see your comment and we're going to read it towards the end of the show.
I just want to call about the power sector. See, like one of the callers said earlier, that power sector is the backbone of the economy. That's the major challenges we are facing here in this country, because most of the investors, manufacturers, some of them have left this country because the issue of unstable power supply. So I want to appeal the federal government to do a needful on that. Thank God, a few days ago, already that Abia State government said they don't have problem in the national grid. They can stand on their own. So I want to appeal to other states as well, like Oyo State governor, should do the same thing to achieve that power sector as their own. That's my own submission. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sulaiman Sheriff, for your contribution this morning. Now, the Senate will today resume deliberation on the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. What are your expectations?
They are afraid of, yes, if they pass that bill, it is going to check a lot of excesses. That's why they are delaying. And whether they like it or not, they must pass it. Because Nigerians are fully aware of the content of that reform. Vote buying, vote selling.
And also very important, the IREV.
IREV, not transmitting electoral, everything. That's why I keep saying that transparency is lacking. If these people have integrity and they are credible, what stops you from passing this bill that will even make Nigerians to be interested in voting? The reason why Nigerians are the level of apathy towards election is because there's no transparency. There's nothing that will tell them that, oh, when you put your vote, it will count. Now that we are bringing something to the table, they are delaying in passing it because they know it will catch up. They want the status quo to remain. It can't remain.
Well, the committee has had 3 days to complete the assignment and should submit their report today. Let's not forget that this is not the last leg of that bill. They also have to, the president has to give assent to it. But we don't have time. Thank you so much. This is how far we can go on the show. Olasinde Habib Kamadukwe, Sulaiman Sheriff, speaking about the FARC windfall, and Grace Aderunke. Thank you all for your comments. We cannot take any more calls. It's been Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Thank you so much to our analysts.
Thank you for having me, Bola.
So my name is Bolanle Oduekun-Ayoola. As you go out this morning, please ensure that you try to get interested in the politics of Nigeria and what's happening in Nigeria. That's the only way we can change this country for the better. Thank you so much for listening, and God bless you. Good morning.